Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking bourbon. All right, Ben. Let's bring it on in.
Bring it on in. Today we've got BAM Peerless Double Oak. All right, so this one is new for us. We've never had it before.
We've had the regular Peerless.
Yes, which actually, you know, we should do a standalone review of that because that was one of our initial reviews when we were starting the channel that
but we never released.
Yeah, we threw away, before we ever
So I brought the bottle over
into it.
just in case we want to try it.
Yeah.
I've had that, I had to pour that one like a week ago.
It's a cinnamon bomb.
It's definitely cinnamon forward.
Yeah.
But it's actually really good. Don't know a ton about Peerless. Louisville, Kentucky, smaller distillery, but I actually do like the basic Peerless.
Yeah, and so this is the double oak, so meaning they transfer it to another new charred oak barrel.
Yep.
Non-chill filtered.
And you said sweet mash, right?
All sweet mash and 109.1 proof.
Do you want to explain the sweet mash while we nose it?
Well, sour mash is when they take some of the existing stuff from the previous batch and then they put it back into the new batch. And so sweet mash just basically means that when they start a new batch, start from scratch.
New grain, new yeast strain, or at least, well,
most bourbons are sour mash.
Right.
Interesting nose.
Definitely cinnamon and toasted oak, but I mean, I think it's gonna be cherry. It's gonna be.
I don't really know what to expect off of this. I'm getting a nutty vibe from it.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
A little cinnamon, but not as much as I would have expected with how the regular one is. So my experience with just standard double oak, not like a finished bourbon, but double oaks, are Woodford Reserve and Old Forester 1910.
Yeah.
Those have such a unique profile on their own that I feel like that adds to the double oak. So I've never had just and we've had the Garrison Brothers Baum Maria or whatever.
But that one was kind of unique.
But that one's different because it's also Texas whiskey to start with. So I've never had just kind of like a standard bourbon that I've had before and liked, aside from those other two, Woodford and Old Forester, that's double oak. So I'm interested to see what this brings to it.
Okay. It's really dark in the bottle. I don't think there's an age statement, but...
It almost tastes like or smells like a toasted barrel.
Really?
Yeah, and so maybe those toasted barrels that we've had, maybe those are a little closer to a double
I've
oak.
Wondered about that. I wonder if that's more marketing, because I've done some research and I don't have a clear...
It's kind of marshmallow.
I'm not getting that.
Graham cracker.
It's more the cherry, the fruity kind of
Are you getting, wow, we're getting totally different notes. Well, let's see what it does on the palate here. Cheers.
Wow. Milk chocolate, cherry, graham cracker.
I gotta go in for another one here.
Cinnamon, nutmeg, barrel char, more barrel char, and a little bit more barrel char. It has a little bit of a dry finish because of the tannins from the wood.
Yeah. That's very interesting. That's a really unique bourbon. I like it a lot. It's really good.
Totally great.
Very good.
It's how do I say this? It's both very, very aggressive, but not off-putting aggressive.
Yeah, it is an aggressive whiskey for sure, especially at 109 proof. It drinks maybe a little hotter than that, but it has a heat to it that's not just an ethanol heat. It's got like, you know, you said cinnamon. I'm getting the cinnamon on the palate that I wasn't getting on the nose, but it's more like a Red Hots cinnamon.
Sure.
I remember we said specifically, and I remember this because then I heard after we had said it, which is the video we never released, but I just remember we got that big red gum. And then I watched some other reviews from the original Peerless, and they also got that same, I've heard a couple people say that, the big red gum. So that's the same kind of cinnamon I'm getting off this, like big red gum, red hots, like candy cinnamon.
Yeah. You know, when you said big red gum, I actually was thinking the pouch of Big League Chew.
Oh, Big League Chew.
And it wasn't clicking in my
Just
mind.
like,
And wait a
where
minute, big red gum is that other flavor.
Yeah.
Just memories.
Yeah, that's interesting.
This is a bourbon to set aside, and when you do a blind flight for a group of whiskey nerds,
Oh yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
this is gonna throw someone for a loop who thinks they know, you know,
Yeah.
a bunch of different flavor profiles and
There's some oak and chocolate under it. I'm not getting the cherry so much that you're getting.
it's not as aggressive as maybe the Old Forester.
Right.
You know what I'm getting on the finish though? Cheerios.
Really. Getting kind of like that
Grainy.
sort of
Yeah.
note. So I think these run, I don't even know, can you even get this in Minnesota? You got this in the Wright County Whiskey Club raffle.
Correct.
So I don't know what the price is on these. I know the regular Peerless is pretty expensive. It's around $70.
So I saw a picture, I think it is for sale in Minnesota, hard to find. I saw someone post a picture, and I think it was $100, and maybe it was more than that, but I'm going off memory.
Man, this is really, the more I'm smelling and drinking this is really good.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely unique. Mm-hmm. It's probably pretty small. They only produce a few, you know, cases, I would guess. It's not a huge distillery, and it's kind of a side product.
Yeah, I see the Peerless Rye quite often.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see the bourbon a whole lot, but I do see it sometimes.
occasionally.
But I've never seen this. But I think, depending on what the price is, I'd probably pick one up. But this is really, I mean, this is, if you're a whiskey nerd like we are, this is probably something you're going to want to get a hold of.
I think so.
Yeah, definitely, like you said, it's unique. It's kind of more leaning into that bourbon experience,
Yes.
where, like you said, you put this in a blind flight with some friends that love bourbon, and I
What
think
is
this is
that?
going to stand out as something that's really interesting, and I can't imagine that someone wouldn't like it.
Right.
You know,
Totally
that's really into bourbon. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's a total recommend for me. Yeah, for sure.
Totally agree.
All right, well, this has been Peerless Double Oak Bourbon on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Till next time. See you next time.